What's up, everyone? What's up? How is everybody doing today? Oops. There we go, we'll do that. We're gonna kind of change things up today. I just broke my camera. So, stand by 1 second here. I don't know how the hell I broke this already. Wow, this is just not what I wanted to do first thing. There we go. Show you guys a little bit of a different camera today. So there we go, we got full controls. I gotta get my iPad out. Got ye old cameras going. Alright, all the chats are up and running. Let me get my charts out. So as you can tell, today's stream is going to be a little bit different. We're going back to the basics, me and the rubber duck. We got that, we got that, we got that. Push that up there so I can get in. All right. Sal, thanks for the follow, man. Welcome to the flight crew. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Also, simulcasting today. I'm also live on YouTube. Caden, what's up, bud? Yeah, I felt like flying the 152 and bringing my first officer with me. So I told you, Caden, I got that GA itch, and you know, it's got to get scratched. So we're gonna start off with a little pattern work. Nope, no GPS. I'm only gonna be doing the pattern. This is for the wing certification on VATSIM. And we're going super old school, brother. Super old school. There we go. Okay, swing your those down. Whatever. Flip the switch. So let's look at the tower view real quick. See if I can find that windsock. How you been, Caden? How's everything? There's the windsock. Looks like the wind's favor 3-3 today. Sal, how you doing, man? How are you? Hide that. Flights. Nope. Airports. Nope. Oh, yeah. CK. Open the chart. Let's get the ground chart up. Do you have a private pilot license to real life, or you just love the sim? Not bad. You got your CFI check ride on Tuesday. Awesome, Caden. You got this. I am working towards my PPL. My medical is all up. I had open heart surgery recently. And when I say recently, I mean December. So my medical is frozen for a year. A team of surgeons and cardiologists will not allow me to fly for a year. But I spend countless amount of hours on this sim. So, all right, let's start getting our power on. All right, we got no controllers on. We'll get the CTAF for Nantucket. So how about you, Sal? You're a pilot? New flight. Caden is the real pilot, yes. They are, man. They are. Caden is also my technical advisor. No autopilot. Turn on the transponder. So what I'm going to do is, when I am allowed to fly again, I'm going to fly out, take a commercial flight to Caden, and he'll be my flight instructor from there. So that's how we're going to do that. Oh my God, that would be a blast. Can you imagine that? We'll probably wind up talking more about jets than anything. There we go. We'll save that. All right, there we go. Why are my flaps down? I'll be here, bud. I will be here. All right, the flaps are up. Mixture. Fuel is on. Pitot is on. Nav lights on. beacon. Which one is my primer? There we go. There we go. We got life. We got life. So next thing to check will be our pitch. Make sure we're set for takeoff. All right, dish the brakes, put our yoke back. Autopilot is off. All right. Man, tuck it. Oh, we're already at 1183. Nantucket traffic. Cessna. November 620 Tango Delta, taxiing to 33 via Charlie. Crossing 9, Nantucket. There we go. So this is a JP Logistics 152. This plane is a lot of fun to fly. One notch of flap. Sip of coffee. I stopped the one camera because I'm eating. So Sal, are you a real pilot, or are you a sim pilot, or both? Watch my little rubber duck first officer. He leans forward, hysterical. All right, we'll bring the flaps up. Flying out of Nantucket. water. Then we're going to do a touch and go. Nantucket area traffic 20 Tango Delta. Working the pattern for runway 6 for wings practice, Nantucket. Alright, we made the call out. There is absolutely no one on the radar anywhere close to us. Start leveling the aircraft off. Back on the stick. Too much. Bring it around to the field in sight. Pull a little power. So I overwent the runway a little bit, but that's alright. Nantucket traffic, 20 Tango Delta. Pattern entry, 6, touch and go. So we'll come in at 45 degrees. Practice this because it has been forever since I've flown this 152. I forgot how it acts. Power. Not bad, I'll take it. Box back up. Cut that one too short. Mr. Walnut, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the flight crew. Appreciate you being in here. I'm good. How are you doing? Just trying to get the feel for this 172. I've had it for about 2 years and I haven't flown it in quite a while. It's going good. It's going good. How about you today? Were you stressing hella hard on it? So when I am allowed to take my flight lessons, I'm in a 172 and it looks nothing like this. So I'm actually practicing for the wings certificates for VATSIM. Power. And it looks like I gotta remap some stuff. Tried VATSIM for the first time and don't understand a single thing they say. The alphabet. If you go to VAT USA, we're going to cut this turn pretty hard. If you go to VAT USA, they got the phonetic alphabet and all that stuff. VATSIM can, whoa, shit, too much. VATSIM can be very daunting the first couple times you try it. Nantucket area traffic 20 Tango Delta, runway 6 for a touch and go. Do a power off descent. But you get used to it. And here's the secret to VATSIM. I've been on VATSIM for 20 years. You play in Europe, so thick accents, yeah. And totally different procedures than the United States. Like, totally different. I've flown in Europe a bit myself. But normally I just stick to the United States. But yeah, that's where like learning how to read charts is crucial, especially in Europe. Come on, baby, settle down. That it is crucial in Europe to do that. I think one of the hardest places I ever flew was Edinburgh. The gentleman on the tower just had such a very, very thick accent that I had to ask him to do it by text. Not to be stupid about it, but yeah, and sometimes it is hard to understand because VATSIM in Europe is much busier than the United States. Like, they don't play over there. But, you know, it's like once you get used to it. You know, and charts and getting used to that. Yeah, boy. Jeffrey, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you a lot. It's a whole new form of speaking, yeah. It is. It is. And you know what? Sometimes even, I flew an event last Wednesday. Go, Jeffrey, thank you. But I flew an event last Wednesday on VATSIM in Indy Center, and it was based on bingo and yeah, I got to remap a bunch of stuff on this plane. But we would you know, we did everything that the bingo card called for. I was lucky enough to win, so I'm just waiting for Just Flight. But it was so busy. Like, I always have a pen and paper right here on my right hand side. That's everything. Like, if I gotta write it down. Now, I'm in my mid-50s. My memory ain't the best anymore. .330 knots flying at 3,000. Trying to understand. Yeah, I hear you. I've felt that way too. One of the general rules, and like a lot of people that I speak to, and if any of them come in here today, they'll back me up. They're VATSIM controllers. They always tell you to start at the smaller airports until you start getting used to it. So, you know, don't fly out of Heathrow. Yeah. Jeffrey, you're a VATSIM controller, aren't you? Don't you do LaGuardia or Allentown? Okay, I remember because I think you and I spoke briefly at the expo. You were there with the pilot club, correct? It's been setting up. Yeah, but you know, it's especially at busier events, VATSIM can get Yep, yep. I knew you. Yeah, we spoke at the convention. So I also think I've flown LaGuardia a couple times while you were on there. You were there with, if I remember correctly, Pilot Club, right? So it has been about a year. Virtual USA Flying Club. There you go. Over by the VATSIM guys and Southwest, I believe. Because that kiosk is where I signed up for the Southwest VA. Okay, there you go. My memory's not as bad as I thought. So now I still got about a month before I go back to work. So I'll be doing this a little bit more frequently. That was a little hard. That was too hard. But I'm gonna do like some GA flying over the next couple of weeks. I don't go back to work till March. I had open heart surgery, so even my real life is paused with everything. I can't take flight lessons, blah 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 blah. But it is what it is. I'm not dead, so I'm happy for that. Are you heading out to Minneapolis for the convention for this year? We're in Nantucket. Let's start making our way up towards Martha's Vineyard. Climb out that way. Because I know I won't be able to make it. I'll be off from work for 3 months and I can't go around in June and be like, hey, because my vacation pick for 2026 is already in. Yep. That's another big golden rule of VATSIM right there too. Be very familiar with your aircraft. That's why like 90% of the time I'm in 7.3s. Power. Shoot it on over to Martha's Vineyard. But did you have anything to do with the Indy Center MTM last week? That was a fun event. JTC can't make it. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Unfortunately, I will not be able to make it. Only because of the amount of time off from work that I've had already. By the time it's said and done, I'll be off for 3 months. There we go, we trimmed out pretty good. Trying to understand and dial in the frequency of ship over. So, if you don't mind me asking, what aircraft were you in? Because that sounds like you either went into too steep of a descent or the A320. I'm not a huge Airbus guy. I wish my friend Joe was in here. He is. Or my friend Captain Joey. He's actually a first officer on an A320. But every time I've overspeeded in that, it had to do with the autothrottle. That was my big problem. The CRJ7, tell me that's not a lot of fun. I also have the CRJ7, and that's a lot of fun to fly that aircraft. And as my flight instructor always tells me, small adjustments. Small adjustments. Jeffrey, we might be asking you to control for us next coming months. Me and Cool Joe are in the process of setting a date and the planning stages for a charity flight. How do you understand the frequencies? All right, so after so many years, it's just kind of like, it becomes second nature once you practice it. But I believe in England they say like 122.8, or something. A charity event. We'll be doing it in 7.3s and A320s, but we already chose a charity. We're waiting to speak to them, but we're going to be doing a big charity flight. It went out to multiple discords for pilots. I think we're going to wind up having about 10 to 15 pilots for the event, and it's going to be a long event. It's going to be about 12 hours. So, custom paint jobs that won't appear on the VMR file, but and Mr. Walnut, it's all about just getting used to and listening. Now, if you look, I have the luxury of having multiple screens, so I definitely will, Jeffrey. Thank you. I appreciate it. But Mr. Walnut, on my right screen here, I got my V-Pilot, and it has been, after a while, you just try to know what to expect. Like if center is split to east and west, and you're on the west side, and you're flying east, you're going to go to east, so you just put it in your standby. Things like that. After a while, with enough practice, it's like anything else. Being on VATSIM, it just becomes second nature, and it becomes intuition. And the more you fly in certain areas, the more, you get used to things. Like if I was in an airliner, and Jeffrey was on LaGuardia Tower, right? I would check in with him to get my clearance, Southwest 30, 360, Information Alpha, looking to pick up my IFR to Dulles. And he would come back and he would write that all down, and he'll tell me departure is, I don't know the actual frequency, so I'm just throwing it out there. Departure would be 123.45. And you read all that back to him, and then you start getting used to it that way. And that'll help you. The biggest piece of advice I have is always have a pad and pencil handy, or a pen, whatever you prefer. It's pretty much whatever my cat doesn't knock on the floor that day. So I might have a pencil, I might have a crayon, who knows. If my grandsons were around, I got a crayon in my hand. But is a phone also good? Yeah, you could if you're quick enough on it. I mean, I'm going to be 55 this year, so it's all to do. I got, to push the power button on my computer. There you go. There you go. Thank you, Jeffrey, for the backup on that. That is awesome advice right there. That's Martha's Vineyard right in front of us. Over here. The figures. Anyone else on? So I am also working on FlightAware, not FlightAware. I can't think of it. But anyways, through SimBrief, I'm working on a little general aviation flight. So we'll probably start that tomorrow afternoon. Probably do it in the southeast or so. I didn't even think of that, adding new to VATSIM. Yeah, so let the controllers know. It's like taking around 109.205, one's airborne. probably connect and ship all the parts. So just have it, yeah, just have it at hand and have it. Yeah, I can actually show you here. So 1193, right? That's SeaTac or Nantucket. One two. Now you see this one is 1214. That's SeaTac for Martha's Vineyard. So, and that's the standby section. So all you have to do is switch it over. See, I also have the luxury of a radio panel, so it's a little bit easier for me. You can see it on my secondary camera. It's right here. All the red numbers. My big elbow ain't in the way. Staying ahead is most certainly the trick, yes. Just like Jeffrey said. Oh yeah. Yeah, and Europe stays busy too. I've flown a couple events in Europe. I am a veteran of Across the Pond, and I did it years ago in a 747, and then a couple of years ago in a 777. You know, where it's so much information. It really is. Wheel is working a little bit slower than what I want. Works actually a lot. Pitch wheel is actually a lot better in 2024. I think I got the sensitivity a little different. I have to fix that. All F4 going. 330 knots, 3,000 feet, trying to understand dial up the frequency. Yeah, no, you would have known by now. Have you tried connecting afterwards? You know, and definitely like Jeffrey said, put new pilot in your comments. It'll definitely behoove everybody. You know, and Caden, who's in here earlier, who's a real world pilot, he what do you call it? He's even, well, he's pretty good on VATSIM because he's used to talking to ATC. Autopilot, this thing works. I've never used it. the autopilot works. Lovely island of Martha's Vineyard. The local on. Let someone want to practice with me. That's 24 feet or connecting again, to be honest. I mean, if you want to log on to the sim and just go into Martha's Vineyard, I mean, do you do general aviation at all? Nope, never tried. Well, let me tell you something. Once you try general aviation, you'll enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Here's the field over there to my left. I mean, I'm not on 2024 yet because my system can handle it. It's just, it lags quite a bit, and I got a new motherboard and I got a whole bunch of stuff that I got from a friend of mine who's a computer engineer, but my system now runs on DDR4 RAM and I need DDR5. So when I go back to work, I'll grab some overtime and do that. Dude's connected to the server. Pick the next pilot recording, and more in. Speed change frequency corrects. That's actually a really even better idea. Martha's Vineyard traffic. Number 620 Tango Delta Type 152. Cessna 152. Pattern work. Runway 24 for a touch and go. Lights. So actually I might start in Ocala, Florida tomorrow. Fly like some southern Florida. Ocala, Jim Taylor Field. Jeffrey, if you have a link to that, you're more than welcome to post it in the chat so people can look at it. We all grow together, and especially the sim aviation community. We all There we go. So feel free to look at that link. There's a private airstrip up there? I didn't know that. It's a grass strip. Yeah, I was too. I was 2 years ago, like super scared to talk on the radio. There you go. There you go. Mic fright is a real thing, yeah. especially like, you know, when you start getting a little bit more familiar, and you know, you fly that first event and it is so busy and it was nothing like you ever experienced before. It's like, oh man. Bye bye Martha's Vineyard. There's a grass strip right there. 1 Bravo 2. My closest controller right now is Baltimore Washington approach. Friday night out event featuring LGA. Oh yeah, I did do the Northeast Corridor last week. We didn't make it up to LaGuardia though. We actually landed at Scranton Wilkes-Barre, which is my local. I could imagine. We left Dulles, right? We landed at we landed at Reagan, and we came up to Reagan from Charlotte. And they were telling it was a 20-minute hold to go to LaGuardia, close to 35 minutes to go to Boston, because it seemed everybody was departing to go up to Boston, and I'm like, man, I'm avoiding that. But we started a lot later than what we wanted to, because the idea was to go from Charlotte to Reagan to Wilkes-Barre Scranton, and Wilkes-Barre Scranton into Islip to MacArthur or Islip Field. Yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah, AVP is my closest airport in real life. The accent you hear is Queens, New York. I grew up outside Kennedy, but when I retired as an EMT for New York City, I moved down to Florida for a few years and then came up to Pennsylvania. Met my girlfriend. Got divorced, met my girlfriend, happier guy. But yeah, whenever I fly for work, I fly out of, do a commuter flight from Wilkes-Barre Scranton to, we actually call it Avoca because it's in the town of Avoca. Oh, okay. All right. Yep, I know where you are. What do you call it? And I normally connect out of Dulles O'Hare when I travel for work. And my employer uses that. You probably know where the Amazon warehouse is, the RDGs, which are down over that way. So after 32 years of being an EMT, I retired and went to work for the Big A as industrial safety. I'm not, basically I'm the OSHA guy. You know, the one that no one wants to talk to. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. You know, I'm lucky though. My managers I work with are pretty good. Pretty good. So, oh damn, forgot to check to see my YouTube chat. All right, no one's in YouTube. I'm trying to grow on Twitch as well as YouTube. YouTube's a grind, boy. Woo. But like tomorrow I'll be on later because me and my buddy we're doing we're not flying, we're doing a thing for the Olympics. And then Saturdays I don't stream on the weekends because I'm a grandpa. And then I'll be back at it Monday evening after I get home from cardiac rehab. Or if my girlfriend goes to work earlier, I'll do it earlier. and my managers on my shift ain't bad, but and then sometime this year I'll be going to Dallas and I'll be going to Nashville. So I got a couple friends that start with companies with one or more employees. Yep. Yep. And those fines ain't cheap, boy, because where are we flying today? I am on my way back to Nantucket. Just doing some pattern work, getting used to this plane again. And then tomorrow we'll actually have some destinations. I gotta see the time I'm going to stream. But if I get home from cardiac rehab too late, I will not be in the sim. We'll be doing something for the Olympics. But I'm just tooling around. I was kind of hoping that Boston Center would pop on and I would knock out my level 1 wings certification, but that don't look like it's going to happen because once I land in Nantucket, we're going to taxi it in and call it a night. I still got to cook dinner. One of the problems of being off. Once I land, I'll go cook dinner. And then about 7 o'clock my time, bring it up to my girlfriend so she has a fresh meal. And hang around. So, and maybe I'll get lucky before I get off network and end the stream. Maybe I'll get that one more follower to get me to 480. Over? Nah, beautiful. I don't stream. I just started getting back into GA. A lot of it I do like when I'm doing like Southwest flights and stuff like that, or when me and my buddy sim together, like we're doing an event. It's normally aircraft. I'm gonna be doing a lot more GA. And yeah, Duluth is a good guy. I told him when I popped in, I'm like, hey bro, I'm actually lurking his stream right now. So, like when I'm preparing dinner, I'll pop back in there and all that. But he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Small world though. Like I knew once we started talking, I knew exactly who you were. So I remember talking to you. That was actually my first expo too. I had a good time. Chatted up with XB72 for a while. But I will definitely be doing some more. In fact, I'm going to, when I land and taxi it in, I'm going to raid him with the viewers here. Okay, so I'm actually making lemon pepper flounder. I'm a seafood guy, I enjoy seafood. And it's actually going to take me some prep time. It is, I believe it or not, I got it from the American Heart. The recipe is from the American Heart. You know, but it's all fresh stuff. Like, you know, I gotta mince garlic. I gotta get some spices and stuff out. Well, we have the peppercorn maker. But if you Google search American Heart lemon pepper chicken, it'll lemon pepper fish, it'll pop right out. You know, and then while that's going, I'll get some. I don't know. I think I'm gonna make some wild rice, like a long grain rice. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. After this surgery that I had, December 11th. Nope, I'm sorry, December 10th. You know, I very much so am paying attention to what I'm eating. Biggest question I'm asked is, like, aside from how are you feeling, how are you healing, you know, which, knock on wood, I'm doing great. People make the comment, oh, it must be great to be off work, you know, you're gonna be off work 3 months. Nah, after about 2 weeks. 2 weeks when I got out of the hospital, you know, after my discharge, I was like, all right, this is, I'm done. You know, because I couldn't travel. I wasn't allowed to drive until mid-January, so, you know, kind of stuck at home. Tucket area traffic, Cessna 620 Tango Delta. Approaching for one-way 6 full stop. Nantucket. More altitude. There's the field, I got the runway in sight. Coming down. I gotta zest up 2 lemons. That's the part that I kind of want to hire someone. Can you zest these 2 lemons for me? I really don't want to. And he's staying pretty still. My FO, the rubber ducky there. Nantucket area traffic, November 60 Tango Delta, short fine on runway 6. Start pulling power to that center line. There we go. That wasn't too terrible. Not too terrible there. So everyone, when I taxi in, if the brakes ever work in this thing, that's the one complaint I have about this plane. The brakes are, this is not stock. You can't get this plane anymore. The developer pulled the file. But for the 4 of you still in here, and the 1 of you is on YouTube, same name, Level Flight Simulations on YouTube. Strobes off taxi. Nantucket area traffic. 20 Tango Delta. Via Foxtrot Juliet to parking. Correction, Foxtrot to parking. So we're going to go ahead and raid Duluth, and we'll be back on sometime tomorrow afternoon, probably around 4 o'clock for a little while. I'm going to be in the Piper, Dakota, and we'll take off and we'll head somewhere there. And take a dinner break, and then we will go ahead and be simulcasting the opening ceremonies. Me and a bunch of other people. We're going to kind of have a whole bunch of people for that. But everyone, thank you for the new follows. Hopefully tomorrow I get to 480. I'm pushing for 500 and then eventually 1,000 on Twitch. I'm pushing for 500 on YouTube. Alright, bring the flaps back up. Yeah, we are in Nantucket, and then if everyone will please give me just a couple of minutes, we're going to go ahead and raid Desktop Pilot Society. There's a spot right there. We'll take that. Oh, there's another aircraft on the ground here. That's cool. November 1542. That's cool. Is it anyone in chat that's at Nantucket? Either on the YouTube or the Twitch side? He's taxiing out. That's pretty cool. We can hear him. There he is right there. But that is going to be it for me today. I don't think he's on CTAF. Otherwise, we would have heard him. He might be on Boston Center. Let's see. So I'm also going to start preparing the raid.
Turn right heading 310.
Right turn 310.
Speedbird 82, losing my airspace, change to advisory, approved, have a good day.
I'm waiting to see, yeah. I was going to end it, but let's see where he is. I just put Boston Center on. He's got that 172 taxiing at Southwest speeds. So I got chase cam by Parallel 42, so I still didn't set up the, You know what? Yeah, let's bring that up and see. Bat radar.
Jabber 32, turn right heading 010, drone localizer, maintain 170 knots or greater.
00, drone localizer, 048,
Yeah, he's on 1347.
Western Global 1, Boston Center, you're in frequency.
Let's hear what he's got to say.
JetBlue 32, over Nabo, cleared ILS runway 4 right approach 170 knots or greater, tail melt.
170 knots or greater, tail melt, clear the ILS 4 right from Nabo, JetBlue.
So he is squawking 1200. He is filed VFR. Let's see where he's at on my charts. All right, so he's down there. It looks like he was doing his run up.
JetBlue 32, contact Boston Tower 128.8.
188,
Delta 459, descend via J Frontier arrival, runway 4 right, Boston, altimeter 2995.
Delta 459, Roger, descending by the J Frontier arrival for 04 right,
shut the camera down so I can put it away, but we're definitely going to chill and watch this guy depart, and then we're going to raid Desktop Pilot Society.
Yep, we're ready to go from 1542.
That's him.
Number 1542, make a left close traffic, runway 33, clear for takeoff, report midfield.
Left close traffic, 1542, report midfield.
So he might be doing his wings. Probably not. That would be... Yeah, he didn't notice. According to Bat Radar, there's quite a bit of traffic. Always seems to be a ton of traffic in Boston Center. All right, there he goes. Now he's up before midfield. And there he goes. But, all right, everybody, if you just kind of hang on 1 second, we're going to go ahead and raid. We're going to raid the
Swift
roof.
52 Boston Center, hello, or radar contact, reset transponder,
So we're going to go from Flight Sim in.
4725.
Where is he?
November 7, Mike, maintain 170 knots of grid to Milt at Nabo, contact Boston Tower 128.8.
Maintain 170
Desktop
until
pilot
Milt,
side. There he
contact
is.
Boston
Let's
Tower
go.
at
Let's
Nabo,
raid.
contact Mike Mike.
Boston
Reading
Center,
them
November
now.
1542, we're midfield for
So
runway
everybody,
3.
thank you very much for being here. I will catch you
November
guys
1542,
again tomorrow.
runway
But
33
till then, take care
clear,
of
touch
yourselves
and
and one
go.
another, and we'll talk to you in a bit.
Clear,
See
touch
ya.
and go, runway 33, 15.